I'm in the studio with Peter Kinder. He's running for Lieutenant Governor for re-election, the Republican candidate. I want to start by asking you a little bit about yourself. If you could tell me about where you grew up in your family, where you went to school.
I'm a sixth-generation Southeast Missourian from Cape Girardeau, where it was hometown to both of my parents. And I attended Cape Girardeau Public Schools, came up here in the 70s to the University of Missouri-Columbia. Was here 2 years. I actually finished my degree at Southeast Missouri State University in my hometown. After that, I finished law school in 2.5 years in Texas, in San Antonio, Texas, at St. Mary's University, and passed the Missouri bar in the winter of 1980 on my first try, and plunged into a congressional campaign, managed a congressional campaign, went to Capitol Hill in the early 1980s, and ended up working for the Drury brothers, building Drury Inn hotels across the Midwest in the 80s, and in 1987 made a career change. Went into newspaper publishing. I was the associate publisher of the Southeast Missourian newspaper in Cape Girardeau. Was there 17 years, and in 1992 was elected to the Missouri Senate in my first try. I served 3 4-year terms there. The last one, 01 to 05, I was the first Republican Senate President pro tem in 53 years. And in 2004, I was elected Lieutenant Governor from that position in the Senate, carrying 91 of 114 counties.
All right, I want to talk a little bit about this campaign now. As I said, you're the current Lieutenant Governor. Why did you decide to run again?
I enjoyed the job. It was a natural progression for me, having been President pro tem of the Senate, to follow as President of the Senate, which is Lieutenant Governor's constitutional duty. The statutory duty, primarily beyond that, is to be the advocate for our state's senior population, and that is a set of responsibilities I've embraced and taken very seriously, even as I try not to take myself seriously. We have several success stories on the senior advocacy front. We've moved several $1 million into the senior meals program without a tax increase. Now, that's good fiscal management. It reflects our priorities of prioritizing the senior meals program, both the congregate meals served in nutrition centers in every county across the state and most towns, but also the home delivered meals. So several $1 million more without a tax increase. The second senior issue that's really important is the Missouri RX plan, and I chair the Missouri RX Plan Commission, which is assistance for very low-income seniors with their monthly prescription costs. In some cases, as a woman in Mexico, Missouri told me this summer at a senior town hall forum where I was visiting with them about these issues, she said, "Mr. Kinder, I went on the Missouri RX plan. Before that, my out-of-pocket cost was $400 a month. Now it's only $200 a month." So the Missouri RX plan, which is free and free enrollment, is a wonderful plan. We have links to it on my website also.
What is, and maybe you talk about it a little bit as being an advocate for seniors, as you said, but what are some of your greatest accomplishments as Lieutenant Governor?
Well, those two, the advocating for the senior meals program that is so important, both the home delivered meals and the congregate meals served in the nutrition center. The MoRX plan really is my proudest accomplishment, or among them, in that we have gone from serving almost no Missourians to serving over 182,000 low-income seniors are getting help through the MoRX plan. That, by the way, the website is morx.mo.gov, morx.mo.gov. We have a toll-free number that makes it easy for this free program. It's free enrollment. We enroll you the year-round for free, and the toll-free number is 1-800-375-1406. It's 800-375-1406 for the MoRX plan. It may not apply to a listener out there, but you may know someone who qualifies under our low-income guidelines. There's no asset test, and it's really easy. Now, among my other proudest accomplishments are advocating for our veterans as well. I've advocated for and helped establish the Missouri Military Families Relief Fund. This is a fund that comes in and helps the families of deployed guardsmen and women and reservists who are deployed around the world in the global war on terror. And we're very excited to be able to help these families. They suffer an income loss usually when the family member is deployed overseas and they might fall behind on a mortgage payment, a utility bill, a car payment or something, and we want to be there with a cash grant for that family. And that's what we're doing through the Missouri Military Families Relief Fund. And that is not charity, that's heartfelt thanks for a job well done. And finally, among my proudest accomplishments is that I brought the largest ever sporting event ever held in Missouri to our state, and I refer to an event free to the public called the Tour of Missouri. And your listeners, if they don't know about the Tour of Missouri, we've now done it 2 years in a row, each of the last 2 Septembers. Tourofmissouri.com has all things about the race. It is a professional cycling race that I've worked on the last 3 years to bring to our state with world-class athletes from 22 countries around the world: Cuba, Mexico, Argentina, the Czech Republic, France, Germany, the UK, Australia, as well as many American and Canadian athletes. We're very excited about the success of the Tour of Missouri, and I'd like to tell you about it because I commissioned last year, over our 6-day race from the western border to the Mississippi River, we commissioned the University of Missouri School of Business that did us a very fine economic impact study. And the study showed that for the state's expenditure of $1.7 million in tourism tax money that would have gone to promote our state as a tourist destination in any case, we had an economic return of over $26.2 million. That the average visitor who came from outside our state boundaries to watch the race, or a portion of it, was more affluent, stayed longer, and spent more money each day than the average tourist to Missouri. So it's a win-win-win for everybody. Worldwide, on the World Wide Web, we had live streaming video and millions of hits on the website from all over the world this year, from more than 105 countries watching this race or part of it. And that meant that folks in Sweden or France or China were watching this wonderful race, free event to the public, and learning about our beautiful state, who may never have heard of Missouri, or maybe they've only heard of Mark Twain and the Mississippi River, but now they're learning about our natural beauty as well as our 2 large cities, and we're just very excited about that race. By the way, it was such a success last year that the International Cycling Authority said this year in 2008 you can have an extra day, and we went a 7th day. And the economic impact study this year just came in yesterday and says that we had an impact of over $33 million. So the Tour of Missouri, big success. We'll be back next year bigger and better.